Ooh.
Please elaborate on that one.
Okay, so I'm about to expose myself. Ooh, this is spicy. I don't want to do this. Okay.
Did someone put jalapenos in the air or something? Today on Beyond Dating, JaBarie shared with us how he experiences a long-distance relationship openly. And our sponsor for today's episodes is Beyond, the newest dating app in town. Check it out at datebeyond.co. Big gulps.
Big cups. Oh, it's so good. Water. Gatorade.
Oh, look, Jesus did it again.
He did it again.
Okay. So what's it like dating as a gay black male in New York City?
Crazy, actually. I like to say it's a little bit all over the place. You're either truly liked or you're fetishized.
Do you want to expand on that? I need to hear more. So what's the craziest thing that you've come across?
Okay, so one of the craziest things I've come across is, let's see, you're going on a date. You're like, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And then you show up and the guy's like, oh, you're not as black as I thought you were going to be. I'm like, well, elaborate. Oh, you sound too educated. Or, oh, I thought you would wear a baseball cap, or you would wear baggier clothes. So you're sitting there like, wow, this is kind of effed up.
Wow, the stereotypes are strong.
They are, especially in the gay community. They're extremely strong.
Okay, so I need to hear more. Elaborate on that.
We have to elaborate more. So you have guys who are like, oh, we want mass for mass. We need something a little bit more like, Or, you can present mask or, feminine, but they don't want you to be too feminine or too masculine. You can't be in the middle. They don't understand or grasp the concept of that. So when you're someone who lies right in between, it gets really confusing for a lot of people because they don't know what to do with you, because in the gay community, people are so used to being boxed in or put into categories. But, as a black person, I just want to be a person in general and be respected as such instead of an object or put into a category, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that totally makes sense. I'm in the alphabet mafia. Not a man, but I definitely have been hypersexualized and fetishized as a black woman. So it's very interesting to explore dating in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's truly crazy.
So what's your, ideal relationship style and type then?
I would like to say I like a little bit of everything. I can't really say I'm truly in like one area. I do like a little openness to my relationship. I truly feel people are, everyone looks. And if I'm going to say, okay, we're closing this off, I don't want you to do anything. The reality is you're going to look, you're going to want to do things. You're going to want to touch something. And if I deny you of that and you move through the world and it happens, you feel like you have to lie to me. Instead, I would just like to leave it open on the table with a little set of rules. Have fun, but also respect me and respect our rules.
Mm-hmm. So how do you share with your partner that respect, or what do you want your partner to do to show you that respect?
Well, personally for my relationships, some partners, they don't care to know, but also if something comes up, to just be honest enough to say, hey, this happened. Or if they're like, I don't want to know, respect those boundaries. Or, I don't want anything public, respect those as well. And just make sure that equally everyone's respected and that you still come back to the table and have love for each other and that it's known, that it's there.
Mm-hmm. So what are some ways your partners can share with you that they love you when you're navigating in these open relationships?
Oh, just showing up, being there for me when I need you to be, supporting me. You know, I have my own business, so sometimes I need help, or you know, I'm emotionally down and I need someone to really be there and you know pick me up. I love food, so if you can cook for me, that's a love language. If you can rub my back, that's a love language. I don't need all the I love yous all the time. I I need the actions of it more than anything.
So do you have like a primary love language that you know, prefer, or do you just like to explore them all?
I like to explore them all, but I have to say, like my top one is I love food. So if you can cook me food and you bring it to me, I'm just like, oh my god, you love me so much. You made me a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
Ooh, I love shrimp sandwiches.
What? I don't think I've ever had a shrimp sandwich.
So let me tell you about a shrimp sandwich.
Oh my gosh, tell me more.
So you can get pepper jack cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and it's
Regular onions or like caramelized onions?
caramelized onions. Because if you do the regular ones, it's like really strong. I like them, you know, a little you know what, a little burnt,
Yeah.
a little burnt, you know, and you put all that shit on a nice, you know, hero. That's what they say, and then you toast it even more, and it's got that little crunch, and then you bite it.
Oh my gosh, all my senses are going right now.
They're going. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm in love. Let's go have sex.
So sandwich goes into sex.
Yeah, pretty much.
How does that happen?
It's just like food makes me so happy. Like I don't need diamond rings and a lot of shoes and clothes. Small things matter to me. Just little tiny inputs of like actions just showing me. I grew up in a household at a young age where, you know, my grandfather went to work, he worked, he did for us. So he showed his love more than telling us. And that's something that I realize is a lot more important than someone telling you they love you. Anyone can say they love you. It takes an action to actually show that they love you. So I think that's one of the big things for me in a relationship is showing me that you love me.
So what are some actions that you've seen, you know, in your community that, you know, you've wanted to like repeat or want to embody?
Honesty. People just being honest with themselves and who they are and just living in their truth. I think that's one of the things that I've seen a lot that I need to take on more myself, especially coming from a Black household. You know, sometimes we're oppressed within our own household to act a certain way, be a certain way, and walk through life a certain way. That when you finally step into your truth, you know, being a gay Black man, it's just like, okay, it's okay to be a little softer. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be needy. It's okay to say you need help. And I think being gay or being more open to different things, it's like showed me a different side of myself that I didn't see before. So I don't have to be so harsh walking everywhere. But I'm working on it still, though.
I mean, aren't we all? So do you have any tips for anyone who's, you know, struggling to, you know, be that honest, authentic self?
Any tips? I would just have to say, do for you. Do for you. Do what makes you feel good. If you have to step away from family, it's okay. If you have to change your phone number and really move away and just really self-love and get therapy. I think therapy is the number one thing. Talk to your friends. Be honest with your friends and hope that they're understanding that sometimes you're going to need a little bit more love from them than they were expecting to give at times. I think sometimes in friendships, people tend to not know what to do or how to approach certain situations. But I personally feel I have a good core group of friends who understand where I come from and will also tell me wrong from right or be like, hey, you need to love yourself or appreciate yourself a little bit more. So I think those are some great tips.
And then what's an appropriate way to share with your friends, like, oh, you need to love yourself more or take care of yourself in this certain way?
Well, because I'm a personal stylist, my way of kind of like showing and walking my friends through is, you know, if we're going shopping, hey, don't tell me you want to, you know, dress a certain way because you want to impress somebody. Dress a certain way because you want to impress and love yourself and you want to show up for yourself. The most important person to show up for in a day is yourself. The most important person to look good for in a day is you. So I think those are ways I show my friends and kind of like help them. And if you're not a stylist, I mean, even just go on a walk, talk, whatever they want to talk about, just talk about it. Even if you don't understand, open ears, get deep in conversation and just like, hey, I think you just love yourself. I think you don't really appreciate yourself enough, but I'm telling you, I'm hearing you, I'm seeing you. I think you're an amazing person. Also, giving love is another way that then people realize, oh, so they need that.
Mm-hmm. So how did you increase your confidence then?
1-800, I grew up with a Black mother.
Can I call that number?
Right? She was like, fuck everything else. You get out there, you smile, you hold your head up high. You know, so over time, if you walk in the truth, sometimes you become that truth. And I think over time, I became who I was supposed to be. So here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. Fabulous.
This fabulous person sitting right in front of me.
You know,
I love it.
You're fabulous.
We got the boots. We got, I had to put on my overalls for you. So.
The overalls. So we can kick it with the Midwest vibes.
Oh, yes. Big Midwestern vibes over here.
Big old Midwest.
And we made it here to New York City.
Yes, we're in the city of bricks.
So what took you from the Midwest to here, the Big Apple?
Well, back to what we were saying earlier, like, how do you find yourself? I separated myself from my family. I want to see who I truly was on my own. And I think that was an important part of finding myself and being myself. When I was back home, I wasn't as out and open with, being gay or being as truthful with myself. So when I moved to New York, I was able to really mold into who I was, like really be free. And even build more confidence because I came here and I was by myself completely. I built a New York family. I had to completely start over again with work, finding different inner circles, moving throughout the world. I traveled for the first time to Europe at 24. And even then, just building more confidence to travel by myself. Once you leave your hometown, then you go on to the next step. You leave the country. Then after you leave the country, you kind of take your self-brand and your self-awareness and you take it somewhere else and see how, it affects other people. And just if you don't think you have love for yourself, you have love yourself once you move away from your hometown. It takes a lot of courage.
That's courage, I think, is very important.
Yes.
So how do you define courage?
Courage. Waking up every morning. It takes a lot. Waking up. Getting ready. Some people don't get out of bed and they don't have the courage to or the willpower. So I think just being there, being present in your own life.
Okay, so we're going to get into a little more spicy stuff. So
spicy.
Are you single? Are you in a relationship?
I am in a relationship.
Ooh, how is that relationship set up?
Well.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
It's hot in here. It's set up. It's going. It's open, somewhat I like to say. I'm not too familiar with all the different paths of like openness, but I'm just like, you know what? We're somewhat open, just truthful. My partner does live overseas and I do live here in New York. So I think open is just a little bit easier to go with. Everyone has their wants and needs every now and then.
So, what tips would you have for somebody who is, exploring a long distance relationship like that?
Ooh, communication, talk, FaceTime, play on the phone, just play on the phone. Yes. Sometimes you just got to call. Ooh.
Please elaborate on that one.
Okay, so I'm about to expose myself. Ooh, this is spicy. I don't want to do this. Okay.
Did someone put jalapenos in the air or something?
Phone sex, mutual masturbation on the phone, play around, jerk off with your partner, talk dirty, like just deep fantasies, like, ooh, I want to do it in a fitting room, or I want to do it here. Just take them on a mental journey. Just talk to them. Like, yeah, take your boxes off, boy.
Please tell me more.
Keep
going.
I just think distance makes everything like feel a lot different. So then when you're finally there in person, it's like, you know what? You was talking all that shit on the phone.
You better follow through now.
You gotta follow through.
Oof.
Better spit in my mouth.
So what's your favorite line when you're on the phone and getting spicy?
I'm like, yeah. Show me what you're doing down there. You gonna play with it for me? Oh, you are?
Oof.
You know.
I'm feeling these eyes right now. I don't know. Are you flirting with me right now?
I mean, I could be if you want me to.
I mean, this is Beyond After Dark.
Beyond the sheets.
So, wow, I just got lost in that
Got
for
lost?
a minute. I couldn't.
It's okay.
You got too spicy for me. Okay, so how did you and your partner communicate about getting into an open relationship?
That communication started really early on in the relationship. First off, he wasn't supposed to be my boyfriend.
Okay,
It was a trip plan. It was a trip planned to Europe. I do believe either for my 27th or 28th birthday. Before the pandemic. The pandemic hits. I had used Tinder and Bumble, like Explore, to like meet different people. And we were talking. I was like, hey, I just want to, do hair for people. So the plan was go shoot videos of me cutting people's hair, specifically Black hair, and asking the experience of being, gay and Black in other countries. And then the pandemic hit, wasn't able to go. We started talking and FaceTiming, and then it was like, oh, I like you. I'm going to marry you one day. Boop. And I was like, okay, before we go any deeper, like I'd prefer this be open due to previous relationships not working out or cheating being a thing or long distance being a thing. I thought it was just important to kind of leave the door cracked a little bit and not feel so constricted to not being able to explore different things. Threesomes, sex parties.
So, you mentioned like the cheating,
Yeah.
like you're in an open relationship. What does cheating look like in an open relationship then?
Well, specifically for me, cheating would be lying about something. Okay, you're lying instead of just being like, you know what, we hooked up a couple times. Okay, cool, whatever. But going into a whole nother relationship with someone, like, no. Sex is one thing, but falling in love with someone else is completely different. I feel like sex is sex. We can have fun all day. We can explore, do different things in different places, and it just be fun. But to go off and lie to yourself about loving someone else is cheating to me.
So, you travel and you're openly gay. You travel with your partner. What is it like internationally? Being an openly gay, fabulous man you are.
I can't say I've had too many issues. I think the one thing people love to do is take pictures of us when we're together. So I think that's pretty weird. It happens in New York, but it happens way more overseas.
You're like a celebrity.
Sometimes people don't actually think we're a couple. They think we're like friends. I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. Will friends do this?
Give them a good show.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself, in the future with your relationships? Would you keep your relationship open if it was not long distance, or would you keep it closed off? Or
I think I would still like to see it open. I would still like to see a little spiciness, bring a little third in, maybe a fourth. I don't know. As I get older, I'm exploring more of my sexuality and things that I like, because before I lived back home, it wasn't too much of an output to like really do any of that stuff with from Michigan. What is there? What even is it? But
yeah.
then you move to New York and you're like, oh, wow, this girl's really cute. Like, I want to kiss her. Oh, this guy's hot. Or, yeah, okay, maybe I can have both. And so you want to explore these things. And as you get into a relationship, maybe your partner's like, hey, I want to try this too. Like, oh, well, let's go. Let's do it. Take your clothes off.
So what does your ideal relationship look like then if you could design one?
If I could design one, free, just free. That's all I have to say. I mean, I want everything. Everything.
What does everything mean?
You know, I don't really know sometimes, but I have to say I'm definitely down with anything that comes my way. Now I'm a lot more comfortable. So back to threesomes, sex parties, women, men. I like, I love everything. So I think that's where I am.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like free.
That
sounds good and fun.
Free.
Sex parties, vibes.
Run down the street naked.
I mean, I would do it if I wouldn't get arrested.
Truly.
But,
if I could wear my underwear to the grocery store, I'd probably do it.
I mean, you can in some places.
You can.
Definitely seen it in out in the streets.
Seen it in New York.
I've seen it in Miami too. Oh my goodness. Ooh, it gets wild over there. Is there any tips that you have for anyone curious about opening their relationship or exploring their sexuality?
Do it. And do it fast. Like, do it, but have like some common ground rules to what you're going to do. Don't take anything personal. Everyone has different things that they like. So I think just being open and honest with each other on what it is that each person wants. If you're going to do things together, do them together. If you're going to do them separately, do them separately. Just put it out there.
On not taking things personally, how do you do that?
So for instance, my partner prefers not to know certain things. So I don't speak on a lot of things. Also, just respecting when he's around. Like if someone walks up to me, just let him know, hey, like this is my partner. He then doesn't take things personal. But, if that wasn't there and someone's to come up to me and I was like, hey, yeah, just all in their face, then it's disrespecting him. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure those things are protected.
Yeah. So you have good boundaries and healthy communication together.
Yes. Communication is key.
Yes. And then do you have any tips for communicating with partners or friends or anyone?
Communicating with your partners. Don't talk down to them in situations. Hear them out. If you need time to, breathe or think about something, take time back and then come back to the table. Don't let things go unspoken for too long. Otherwise, anger builds up. One person feels neglected. And then even with friends, same vibes go. Just be real with each other. If you love your friends, definitely tell your friends that you love them. You gotta tell them that you love them. Otherwise, it's like, oh, you don't love me or you don't care about me. Like, we used to be good friends. And it's just like, be open and honest. Even if it hurts or you feel stupid, speak. You have to.
Mm-hmm. And always make you a sandwich.
Always make me a sandwich. Or randomly drop your dog off at my house.
I mean, I will fly my dog out here and you can have him.
Do it.
Whenever you
Your dog's going to be spoiled.
I know that. He already is. Do you have any other rules that you have in your relationships?
No, just don't embarrass me. That's about it. Don't embarrass me.
What would embarrass you?
I don't want someone randomly calling my phone telling me something.
Oh my gosh. Facts.
Don't do that.
Has that happened? Do you have an example?
We're not going to talk about it, but it did. And it wasn't the other person. It was me. It was somebody that I talked to. And I didn't realize they were in a relationship and their partner decided to stalk my partner.
Oh, no.
But that backfired.
Oh, I know you don't want to go into it, so I won't. I won't follow up with that.
You said spicy. What you talking about?
Well, give me some spicy stuff. What's spicy? What's the
What's
spiciest
spicy?
thing that...
Hold on, wait. Can I ask you questions?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Okay. What's the spiciest thing you've done on a first date?
Spiciest thing I've done on a first date. I think this is probably gonna get flagged on the internet.
It's okay.
But like group sex.
That's not that bad. I mean, I haven't done it, but if I was to do it, I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
At least you know what they're capable of doing.
Right? And I was like, oh, okay, I know that you can play well with others.
You're not jealous.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds fun.
That's an interesting story.
That is really fun.
That's for a whole different podcast.
You're going to jail.
Oh no, I'm gonna go to social media jail.
Dun dun dun.
I mean, luckily I got a key hidden somewhere. It's tucked away.
Yes.
So, when you're on, you use dating apps?
I do.
Okay. So, what's the cringiest thing that anybody's ever said to you on a dating app?
I don't really know. I think the thing I hate the most are questions about, are you masculine or feminine? I'm just like, who cares? Stop asking these dumb questions. Just go with the flow, the vibes. Or like you're on a dating app and they're like, oh, do you want to do it now? It's just like, get to know me a little bit first. God, like season me up a little bit, marinate me, and then let's go in for the kill.
I mean, you gotta always have that seasoning and add a little spice.
That seasoning, that little spice.
So how would you improve a dating app?
Ooh.
What features would you want? What vibe would you want?
I definitely, I want a field of varieties I can go down. Rather it's talking to a straight guy, straight female, gay, bi, trans. Like I love to explore all those little areas. Definitely a lot of more upfrontness. I don't think a lot of people read your bios at all because they just skip over it, but something that makes them read it before they go further. It's like, okay, usually at the top they have like the message button or whatever the case is, and you click it and you just message somebody. Like maybe it has you answer questions as you go along. Then once you answer the questions, then it lets you message someone, and then it's like, boom, this is fun.
That's interesting.
Maybe a little bit more intimate before speaking, so they know rather they want to spend or take time speaking with you.
So then how intimate would you have to get before you know?
Oh, I don't know. Like, ask, like, what are your favorite sexual positions? Do you like it at night? Do you like it in the morning? Do you like it with the lights on, off? Are you open to different things, open relationships? Like all these different questions so you can know exactly where you are or where the other person is. Then they're like, okay, they just want to go watch movies. I mean, I watch movies, but I might want to get a blowjob in the movie theaters. Just saying, just questions asked, like more engagement. I feel like people don't pay attention anymore. They just go right in and ask questions. And I'm like, well, now you've wasted both of our time because you're not really into what I'm into.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this has been eye-opening for me and very, very fun. Thank you so much for chatting with me, exposing me a little bit. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers. Woo. This is good. Woo!